Chapter 7. The Rape of Europa. Yeah, what if, Rose? Maybe your pain screwed with your brain, and now you are completely out of your mind, creating fantasy worlds in your head that can make you happy. What if you're just creating versions of the story where there is any hope for you to be loved, instead of abandoned and delusional? It wasn't impossible. Crazy people are never aware of their own insanity. She could be pathetic enough, Rose knew it. What did she truly know about Alex, beyond the magic? That he didn't want her back, and despised her so much that he didn't even answer her text messages anymore. She was just humiliating herself over and over, trying to reach him with no success. If Rose wasn't a coward incapable of searching for him in social media, maybe she could just find out about some new girlfriend, a standard, stupid Barbie blonde style of a girl, someone she would never be. And if he heard her, all the bibbity-bobbity-boo she was into now, Alex would laugh. He was just going to laugh at her face and mock her with his friends, and she would know. At least, Rose would know. Moya's otter face, her chest pain returned with all power, making her dizzy for a second, and Rose had to stop the car. Rose started deep breathing and trying to calm herself down. She looked for her anxiety pills in the purse, the only thing the psychiatrist kept nowadays, to take one and relax enough to continue driving home. People were honking at her because she had stopped in a prohibited place, but it was better than crashing the car. See how disturbed you are? You don't even realize what you are doing. You are causing trouble to other people because of your craziness. Insanity, I am telling you. That inner voice whispered at Rose. No, I am not insane. It is real, Rose claimed, and started praying. Rose was Christian, but her connection with the divine was very particular. She never believed that intermediary people were necessary, so instead of talking to priests, she would just pray, anytime, anywhere she was. She lived to learn about different religions and philosophies, and anything that makes sense to her, she adds to her inner understandings and beliefs. She used to speak to God as her dear father with affection and love. Whatever she expected was also with affection and love, even the most harsh lessons that she would have to learn. Otherwise, life was no purpose. How imagine a world where bad things happen for nothing? No reason at all. Not that she deserved bad things, but whenever happened, God allowed, because it could teach her something. How to be better, and because you're better, you would suffer less. If you learn a lesson, you don't have to go all through it again, right? All the loops people live, meeting the same type of partners, making the same mistakes, and ending in the same dark places. That's what she believed it was about. Once you break the pattern, you will break your chains and move forward to something different. That's why she was trying so hard to be different, to be a better person, to learn and evolve. Because Rose needed to have a different life, a happy one. Far from everything she knew before, and constantly brought her pain and misery. And for a while, when Rose was trying to find love somewhere else, she believed that Alex was just another of them, the men that took the best of her and left. Silently. She had to, because if he was one of them, then the pain was going to be over one day. Rose was going to stop loving him eventually, as soon as she found real love somewhere. But Rose knew Alex wasn't like them, she always knew. Because Alex was the scariest man she has ever met. He was perfect to her eyes. Kind, loving, funny, adorable, and sexy. Alex treated her the way she deserved, and she felt loved, appreciated, and even admired, as he would tell everyone about her talents. Proudly, not trying to diminish her or compete with her career or mock her art as the ones that came before, he was really proud of her. And Rose had absolutely no clue about what to do with such a man. Alex was too much, too perfect. She didn't deserve all that, did she? Another honk took her out of her thoughts, and now that she was back on track, Rose cursed the guy through the window. Rose was driving back home and decided not to let the sadness to take over her again. She turned on the radio and started singing along with the songs, trying to cheer herself up. She started thinking about maybe going out on the weekend, made a mental note to text Sienna in the morning, inviting her for brunch, maybe Tina too, as she was owing her that coffee date, and wrote in the smartphone calendar to look for a gym to join around her job in the morning. And while she was silent and alone in the elevator of her building, the melancholy ran over her like a monster truck again. Rose got in, already crying, and she dropped everything on the floor, going as fast as she could to her shower to take a long bath and cry her eyeballs out. She knew it was coming, but Rose couldn't stop. It was hard to fight her own mind, especially when it looked like it was right. After all, Rose was sick, Alex was ignoring her, and her only hope was based in her spiritual beliefs. How to fight that? Rose started praying again. "For how long I have to wait, Father? For how long? I need to know, please. It's okay. If I am crazy, I can treat myself in the doctor. But please, just let me know if I am losing my mind." Even wishing with all her heart to one day be happy and married with Alex, with her family and her house close to the nature, not knowing, was so hard that Rose just wanted to give up everything just to make the pain stop. It would be over if she makes it to be over. Rose had to push away those thoughts because they would lead her to very dark places, and those were harder to go back from than anything else. When young, Rose was afraid of everything. She was one of those kids that live in survival mode, always scared of something, a shadow, always crying and looking for protection, and that made her face some profound reflections really early in life. She had a gothic phase as a teenager and got into as much trouble as she could during college, and finally, she made peace with death. Rose didn't want to face it or embrace it, but also didn't fear it or care enough to be sad about the idea of dying. She would only try to protect herself if her life was meaningful enough to be lived. Otherwise, she would just accept it when it comes for her. And sometimes, that was dangerous. Rose didn't understand her thoughts and feelings, why everything was so confusing all the time, why she couldn't be as everyone else. And later she found out that this chaos is exactly how everyone else feels too, each one with their own set of messes and challenges. She wasn't special at all. But still, Rose was really tired. Next day she didn't want to come out of the bed, she had to use a sick day, because Rose knew it would be impossible to be nice to people that Friday, and she had promised to go to the happy hour. No way. In the peak of the depression, she would feel like that every day and push herself out of bed no matter what. But now that she was better and Rose was trying to keep up with life, she would preserve herself the best she could. She alerted her psychiatrist and Sienna about it anyway. It was safer. Rose didn't feel like it having another appointments because she didn't want to start with the antidepressives again, and Sienna already knew everything that needed to be said. Rose just had to fight, only fight her way out of the dark. And she was going to make it, no matter what.